Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy. Oh, I am just so blessed. I am surrounded by really, really smart humans, and the connections are really starting to make me happy. So, shout out to Misty, Meanie, Neil, Neil Gooseby, who reconnected me with a friend through we had met years ago through Avid. Avid is the company that I work for and is a really fantastic mindset shift that changes everything, really, but it definitely changes the way that students see their future. So, anyway, Mimi reminded Troy that we had crossed paths many years ago, and now you guys get to cross paths with him too. He's an author who wrote the book Choose to Be Happy. Now, if ever there was a title that made sense for productive joy, wouldn't you think it'd be Choose to Be Happy? And we talk a lot about all kinds of things, but definitely about the idea that it is a choice. It's a choice to see the good. You can see the good or the bad. Both are always going to be there. But which one are you going to focus your attention on and why? This brilliant man actually healed himself through diet. So he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and yet for the last 7 years has been completely in remission because of what he chooses to put into his body. That's pretty darn powerful. And I think those are the kinds of things that we need to remember we have some control over. He had some pretty cool tidbits of wisdom, one of which was he talked about hope. And he said, hope is actually healed on purpose every day. Isn't that great? Whether you're suffering from a physical ailment or an emotional ailment, or you're just struggling to be your best self, I want you to think about hope, right? Healed on purpose every day. There's just power in those words. There is power in those words. The other word that he used a couple different times was intentional, that we have to be intentional with what we do internally, externally, and all in between. And I think that that's a great reminder that we all need to take heed of. We have to be intentional. We cannot just allow things to happen to us and not own them. We need to take ownership over them and also say, you know what? That's not going to happen today. Another thing that he said that I thought was great was he said that we need to be thoughtful that when life hands us lemons, we choose to make orange juice. And what he meant by that, and I just love, we've all heard, well, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And that's lovely if you like lemonade. But what if you don't like lemonade? There is nothing that says that you have to use the hand you've been dealt to its fullest. You get to decide which parts of that hand you are utilizing, which parts of it you're going to leverage, and which parts of it you're going to let sit. And so his whole thing was, you know what? You might let those lemons sit and go get the ingredients for orange juice because that's what you really want. So in life, where are you struggling? Where are you holding on to what life's handed you and thinking you're stuck? Because you know what? You're not. You're not stuck. Yes, you have been dealt a bad hand. And yes, you are having to deal with some really cruddy things. And you have influence over those things. And you can decide how much of that is going to affect you and your daily work. You get to make those decisions, and nobody can make those for you. As leaders, we have to stop feeling done unto and recognize that we have a lot more influence than we realized. I know you've heard me say it before, but our sphere of control, if you're watching this, is this teeny tiny little hole, right? Little bitty. And yet, our sphere of influence is as big as we want to make it. It's infinite. So, what are you going to do with your sphere of influence? What are you going to do with the things that you do have influence over? What are you going to do to change the trajectory of your future? Because that is what productive joy looks like. I don't know how long you've been listening. This might have been your first episode, or it might have been one of many. But you know what? Productive joy was designed to give you that shot of B12 to change the way you think and the way that you do things and give you a nugget of wisdom you can use right away. So your nugget of wisdom today might be about hope, that recognizing that that really is, I'm healed on purpose every day. Or maybe it's about being more intentional and being thoughtful about what you can and can't have influence over. Or maybe it's just the reminder that where we put our focus is what we're going to see. I know I've mentioned that to you as well. If you're looking for yellow cars on the road, you're going to see yellow cars on the road. So, what are you looking for today? Are you looking for the good? Or are you looking for the bad? Because guess what? Both are always there. And where you choose to put your focus is going to determine what you see. I don't know how long you've been listening, but I'm so grateful for you. Please share this episode with others. There's always a full episode with an interview and then a recap from me. And both together turn into a pretty great week. So please share. Send it to all your friends and just say, hey, here's your positivity for today. I know that everybody isn't by nature positive, and yet everybody needs positivity in their life to get through the crud and move past it. So that's my encouragement for you today, is to recognize that your influence is pretty influential. It's pretty big, and you're the only one that can get in the way of that. So get out of your own way and recognize that you have a whole lot more influence than you realized. And so I want to say a big thank you to Nian for being a great producer, to Bailey for being a great advertiser and a wonderful support to me, to my sweet husband for listening to every single episode and giving me all the encouragement in the world, to my children who make me laugh. And it's so much fun watching you be grown people and figure out your lives. And thanks for listening to old mom every once in a while. And thank you to my friends. You guys, I consider every one of you my friends. Thank you for taking a risk on me, for being who you are, and for making me better for knowing you. So today's episode of Productive Joy is really just to remind you that you have more influence than you realize, and you get to decide where you're going to put your focus. And today, my friends, do me a big favor and figure out a way to turn fun into action.